Well, this is another problem because we have a lot of financial resources, but most of the companies have problems to get the resources.
Yeah.
But there are enough financial resources in the world.
Thank you for this presentation. All of the companies, Coca-Cola and another, are well known all over the world. So can be these talks on sustainability the part of their PR companies, PR activities, maybe, to be more attractive for consumers.
Well, did you get the question? Could you repeat it?
Can be all the speeches about the sustainability the part of the PR acts of the big companies?
Может быть, это только пиар-компания.
So we talk about the communication system or the public relations.
Я спрошу, вы имеете в виду вот это то, что он нам сейчас рассказал, может это использовать для public relations? Или
может ли это быть частью
Пиар-компания,
да?
Ну вот это критическое, что он в принципе говорил, да? Kritisch. Was Sie uns erzählt haben, kann das auch Bestandteil von PR sein, von Unternehmen. Können Sie ehrlich sein, sozusagen?
This is a very good question because I heard a talk the day before yesterday. It was about should companies bring, let's say, bad issues in their sustainability reporting? Where are our problems and where did we fail? Will the world around accept those bad news? And this, the idea was, no, they don't. Refer to good news, that's what we've seen. Stay with good news, because the world, and especially the NGOs who are assessing these messages, they don't accept, well, let's say, kind of true messages, the honored messages. And the second answer is the communication expert. They had a lot of trouble to communicate sustainability because they call it, they say it's not sexy. There's no positive issue in it. We can't communicate that. So that's what we've seen before. Coca-Cola says sustainability are good news. Here are our good news about that. Huh? And this is what makes it very, very critical reading these news. Communication about sustainability is a huge problem.
I'm very sorry. My question is about indicators of sustainability. It's a very big problem. The differences between report of headquarters and sustainability around headquarters and real matters. I mean, this case with Apple computer, with China company with very long time days, very slow salary and so on. And that's why maybe we should have opinion not only about report, sustainability report of company, but also about some some indicators of sustainability, real sustainability. I mean, ecological sustainability, social sustainability. Some indicators which are common and which I acknowledge, and so on. Because only about this sustainability report, they look very good. But what is in reality? especially in other countries, in China, in Africa, and so on. What about criteria, and what about civil control from civil society for this report?
Well, there's an open discussion about that. On the one hand, you have the international, let's say, kind of a driver, those GRI indicators. This is an institution.
No, it's a macro
and they are
level of business.
They are giving guidelines for sustainability reporting, and these guidelines is a guideline about dealing with the human rights, for example, dealing with the side effects of the companies. But for me, this is just a very difficult topic because it is, let's say, Coca-Cola as well or Kraft Foods. They have tremendous problems in changing the situations in Africa because these are political situations. But if they say, how much money, how much time do you spend for the supply of the resources you are depending on, for the long-term supply? That, for example, how much money do you spend for the universities to get more education, academic education? How much money do you spend for renewable energy? How much money do you spend for investigations in renewable materials? These are the indicators for a sustainable company. And to be prepared for the world when all the fossil materials and the fossil energy is gone, is used. How do you want to live?
Please.
The main problem of sustainability is not a problem for business, but rather to politics, because it is a problem of resources. And I understood the studies of sustainability as staying very near to study of future, futurology. And for futurology, the main question is how can we realize the recommendation and the results of such studies? Because we don't have a world regiment, a world government, or we have some. How and where do you see the power, political power, which can realize the strategy of sustainability development?
Well, in Germany we have a political discussion about sustainability. We have a sustainability report of the government about their sustainability goals. So they are very good in talking about sustainability. But these ideas of sustainability are all the sustainabilities of all the ideas of a more and more human way of living in Germany. Less poverty, for example, more working places, more growth of the economy. But now we have a discussion about the scarcity of resources. They recently studied due to the scarcity of certain metals German companies need. And the question is, if all the managers take their fingers and show, well, our government has to care for the free access to the world markets, to the access to the resources. All the companies have to build reproduction systems, redistribution system, recycling system for the metals. Who has to pay for that? That is the question. And the government is not, let's say, courageous enough to give the problem back to the companies and say, it's your problem, pay for it. We can't. So I think if you get more and more scarce resources, the government, the companies, the universities, they all will come to one negotiation table to talk about the resources of the future. But we are at the very beginning of that journey.
What do you say about corporate social responsibility? Can you say maybe that it's part of sustainable development or something else?
Yes, corporate social responsibility might be part of a sustainable management. It might be part of that. If you take more and more responsibility for the resource origins you're depending on. If you understand corporate social responsibility, as many companies in Germany do, are spending money for some purposes in the society, somewhere. We're giving back some of the profits we got to the society, and we decide, like Bill Gates, we decide where we spend the money somewhere. This is not part of a sustainable management. This is just, I would say, this is an ethical management. Ethical management is much more than a sustainable management, because in an ethical management, you are trying to avoid any side effect of your company, any. And in sustainable management, you try to avoid the side effects on the resource origins you're living on from. That's a difference. It's a huge difference in there. Because the other thing, does it bring an impact back to me? That's sustainable management. And the real sustainable, the real corporate social responsibility is dealing with all side effects of the company.
Я еще раз напомню, завтра в 12 часов будет что-то похожее, как мастер-класс, воркшоп об этом. Конечно, все приглашаются для этого тоже.
401 аудитория.
Да, 401 аудитория, 12 часов начинается, open-end, так сказать, сколько надо обсуждать, сколько там будет, конечно, бизнес-кейсы рассматривается, и поэтому надеюсь, что это действительно интересует всех. И, как я уже говорил, коллеги, которые здесь присутствуют, конечно, приглашаются прийти на кафедру, где мы дальше сейчас мы можем продолжать дискуссии, и студенты имеют многие возможности тоже активно обсуждать. Да, может, мы еще раз благодарим за все. И до завтра.